Good morning, welcome to our morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 31st of July. So we're seeing a bit of a surprise in the markets according to the forecast of rate changes. Now I had relatively high probability on the news I've been looking at that the Bank of Japan would increase rates. So it's quite a surprise here to see that it wasn't expected. Anyway, they've increased rates marginally, not made a massive difference to the markets because they've not increased the tapering in the terms of the bond buybacks as quick. So it's sort of they've given with one hand and taken back with the other, or they've taken back and given, whichever whichever way you look at it. It's a bit of a balanced outlook. Okay, so what we've got left today in terms of news. We got the monetary policy statement. That should all be out by now. I think that is all out by now. The conference is happening. The policy all out. We've got at 10 o'clock then the inflation, the flash estimate for the eurozone. We've seen a lot of the individuals. We've got ADP out later, and then it's the biggie. It's the Fed funds rate at 7 p.m. So that's what the markets will be looking at today. There'll probably be some jitters through these markets just to reassure you that it could be crazy. Anyway, let's have a look at the markets themselves technically. And well, the euro did actually move down a tad yesterday. It wasn't very much, but it's well into this 50 now, and stepping its way southbound. It just looks soft when I'm looking at it here. Lower highs, lower lows, just purely on a technical front. Maybe a break of this, and in the next hour, if we see a breakdown of the pivot again, it remains bearish. It did pretty much. Just looking what it was doing there yesterday, I was sort of waiting for the potential of the pivot. It did eventually go around that sort of level, but it was quite sort of, well, it's midday there, 12 o'clock when it started coming off. So it's doing what it should probably be doing. The pound, on the other hand, it's a bit of a, well, it's still in its trend effectively, for sure. On this daily, as you can see, at lower highs, lower lows, so it's pretty similar. It's a little bit more consolidated in this sort of near term, intermediate near, and it's. I drew the trend line on there yesterday, and well, that's what it ran into. It ran into the trend line and sold off in the afternoon again there. But well, we've got potential for a continuation to the downside here, maybe down to its S1 or Monday's lows there, around about the same place. Dollar yen, so at the moment they're both looking bearish. Dollar yen, well, the yen on a daily point of view, I mean, it really happened. Most of this happened last week, and we've been sitting here and we're still in a consolidation zone really. There's the potential for further strengthening. We'll see how it sort of develops, but it's not. I think it might just be a slow movement. It doesn't look particularly great at the moment. It's very messy around the news and the statement, etc. As I said, it's a bit of a give and take type news. Not quite what the markets were expecting either way. So, well, we're left to look at this. I mean, it's into its S2 monthly S2, and it's the last day of the month. Will it hold up there until, well, later on? The FOMC might just move it, depending on what's said there. Any surprises coming from that? The Australian dollar, well, the Australian dollar did roll over here. I must admit, I closed out yesterday, and well, it's as it happens, the inflation data came in lower than expected. And well, we've seen this, that we saw the sell-off coming through there. Technically, that's what was looking originally, and then the technicals changed here. We saw a higher low coming through yesterday morning, but maybe it's a lesson, just leave your stops there and be stopped out by the losses. But Technically lately, when I've seen it sort of switching around, markets have switched around, and to be fair, we wouldn't have known what direction this would have gone into. It could equally have just flown up. As it happens, it's gone to the downside here with lower inflation, but we're catching a little bounce here at the moment. It's probably a little tiny slight move down here. It's not very much at all. Very slight move down. Quite messy around these highs here. Perhaps it's just topping out. I talked about this, the original high here, in terms of it. Where are we? Yep, this Tuesday, yes, yesterday. But the original highs, they did actually get broken. They did get slightly broken. Let's come back. There we go. These original highs were matching up here, and it had broken those. Now, whether it's just a sort of a small overrun, we'll have to wait and see. But for sure, at the moment, it's put a bit of a topping area in there with a double top. We're just about, or we have broken the low between those 2 points. So there is a chance that we could see a bit more continuation in this. I would like to see the strengthening going through the markets. In other words, I'd like to see the euro dollar pushing up, the pound dollar pushing up, and well, the Canadian dollar and the yen both pushing to the downside. Bearing in mind they're US backed. New Zealand US dollar. Well, this has continued its little ride here. We've seen a bit more of a bounce. Where's the Aussies sold off? Here we've seen and this is what makes me wonder if the Aussie will actually turn around. If all these markets are catching a little bit of a bounce, well, we could see the same. But I'm interested in looking to see how this impacts its weekly pivot. This could be a potential short coming off of this, so I will be looking at the impact there. Quite ugly through. I mean, it took a bit of impact through the Australian data coming out. It sort of had a knock-on effect here. They're often quite correlated, but it recovered quite quickly. But yeah, really, it'd be quite good. It'd be the daily S2 around that area if it gets back up there. It's around that area as well. We've got the 50 MA. It'd be just watch what's happening. We've got a bit of time. I'd wait for a bit of a reversal bar on the Owlies. Just get a bit of a reaction on the Owlies, then look to take it. We could be seeing a bit more of a reversal otherwise. US dollar Swissy. Lower highs, lower lows coming through here is the general theme, and yesterday it strengthened some more through and broke my trend line there. Eventually it started, it was hanging around. It had already pushed up quite so far, but eventually broke that level, put lower high in the evening there, and has sold off since. So again, quite soft looking here. Okay, there's the majors. Let's just have a quick look at firstly, let's look at gold. Oh, there we are. There it is. So gold pushing up here, suggesting a softer dollar, pushing through this week so far. It's opening, it popped down, but it's again showing a bit more changing the structure a little bit there. Put the higher low in overall, so the structure's changed on this. And well, coming back where we've lost the original trend that was running down there on the 4 hourly, it's broken out of that. So that's two looking a bit more positive. Maybe we'll push back up towards those all-time highs there. Okay, oil. So oil's seen a decent bounce from its S1 here, its monthly S1. Seen a reasonable bounce, but it's still structurally and technically in a downward trend until we start breaking and pushing further. It had quite a strong sell-off there. Down the shorter time frames, well, it could be argued that it's pulling up a little bit this morning, and maybe we'll see some more. But structurally, it's not changed too much. If we put trend lines across the highs here, let's just do it quickly. Just across here, it's just coming to the underside of those, so it'll be interesting to see how it reacts. I believe there's some news that's driven this. I haven't seen the news yet on this. I'll need to just check it out, but I've got a bit of time. I don't normally trade it until the afternoon, so I'll check this, but it might be good reasoning. It does have its yearly pivot that's running across here, which it's broken below there. It's just just breaking back above it. So a bit of chance there. Then the equity markets, S&Ps, well, continues to consolidate around here. By looks of things, the pre-market, post-market, immediate sort of data, Microsoft disappointed a little bit. Whereas I think it was ARM was positive. Overall, arguably it's put a double bottom in here. It's whether or not it can break this area. This area around about the 5.5 area, depending on where you're looking, on what chart, which feed you've got. But above the high that was on the Monday 11 a.m. that high, if we could break that high, there is potential further upside here. It seems to be wanting to work its way through. The Nasdaq. He says Nasdaq is a similar bounce, but again, still largely in this short term or intermediate term correction, but probably with some divergence off this 4-hourly. I can't see why there wouldn't be any divergence. Let's just click it and see. There you go. There's the divergence off there. But it's really on the positive side would be looking for a break of the weekly pivot there. Quite simple, really, on that one. For it to be bullish. Now there's still quite a lot of companies reporting. If I can, I'll just go onto this page, and there it is. So there's Wednesday. Oh, it's ARM reporting later today. I was getting it's AMD yesterday. Okay, so we've got quite a few pre-market and post-market here. So some biggies still there to Meta. Facebook to report there. We've got Amazon tomorrow, so we've still got some biggies as we run through the rest of this week to look out for. The Dow Jones here, let's just look at this. This is looking a bit more positive and pushing up better. It's given the higher low already, and it's as I say, looking a bit more positive on the Dow. Right, the closer to home then, the DAX quickly. This was looking really soft when I was looking at it yesterday. It's coming off here. It has put in a bit of a reversal. Now it's just switched me back to a different market. Let's get back here. Does this? It's a battle. It's the technology doesn't like the delays. Anyway, he's broken back up. The overall picture is just very choppy. Now, the question is, can it break these highs here and continue? Yeah, really don't like the look of the picture that's sitting there at the moment. And finally, the FTSE. Okay, so yesterday it was looking, and well, it did. It came back into the towards the center of this sort of previous range, but found some support eventually there. It's the weekly pivot gave it the support, and that was that. And it's been pushing up since. So equity market's just looking at the moment, he says, just that bit more bullish across the patch there. Okay, I shall leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I will catch you tomorrow morning. Just as I say, at the moment, well, I'm just looking back up at my charts, and I'm seeing the euro rolling, the pound rolling a little bit at this stage as we're running into the first couple of minutes. They were both looking a bit more positive, but things can change very quickly this very early session. Right, catch you later. Bye for now.